Facebook Live. Here we are. Once again, our Christian Minson here. Rythmia Life Advancement Center. Just going to wait for a few people to come on. I always like to announce, if you are tuning in to the recording, skip to about 4 minutes in. That's where we usually start with the content. Otherwise, these first few moments, we're just saying hi to people coming in, sort of gathering the community. Love people to type in where they're from, what's going on in your life. Welcome, giving me hearts, giving me likes, all that kind of stuff. Kevin Peterson's hello, Dave Powers, yo, Claudia Colarusso, Debbie Garcia, Sveta Torres, beautiful. All names I recognize so far. Andrea Soul, hi from California. Welcome. Welcome to those who are joining for the first time. If you are joining for the first time, say, hi, I'm here for the first time. You say, if you haven't been to Rythmia yet, say, hi, I haven't been to Rythmia yet. And welcome. Thanks for the likes and hearts. Ann Larson, hello. I'm Christian Minson. I'm wearing my biohacker t-shirt today. We have biohacks here this week, guys who do a podcast on biohacking. They've come to interview us, as Rythmia really is a place of biohacks. The breathwork is a biohack. The plant medicine is a biohack. So it was a great confluence of their, what they're all about and what Rythmia is all about. So they gave me this t-shirt after they interviewed me. You can listen for it on their podcast. You can find them. Look for Biohacker on podcasts. Anyway, welcome, Ann Larson. Alyssa, hi. Joe, hello from Jackson Beach. Ann Larson Rhodes, good afternoon. Angela Sparks, hey, haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome. Michelle Dixon, hello. Dave Power, I'm here for the first time. No, you're not there, Dave. I know you're not. Randy, aloha from Northern California. Kasturi, I'm here for the first time from India. Beautiful. Love to hear that and love to see that. We've had many Indian folk come through here, some of my favorite people, in fact. Diane from Toronto. We've also had plenty of people from Toronto. It seems like Canada is our number 2, compiles the second largest group who's come to Rythmia. The first largest group comes from California, second from Canada, third from Florida. I forget what happens after that, but welcome. Kevin Peterson, how are you, Michelle? So got some cross-talking. Okay, Dave, yep, called you out. There we go. So we'll get started in just a moment or two. Well, actually, here we are. We got a good number of people on. It's about 4 minutes in, so let's just go ahead and do it. So welcome, everyone, to Rythmia Facebook Live, Breathwork Edition, Fridays. It starts at 1 o'clock here in Costa Rica, whatever your local time is. I'm R. Christian Minson, the director of the Breathwork program here at Rythmia, amongst many other hats that I wear. I am a certified transformational breath trainer, been so for the last 12 years, sharing breathwork and my teachings all over the world. I was a former monk for 10 years. I'm a speaker, an author, an internet coach, and basically your catalyst for evolution and awakening. So welcome today. Our topic is feeling safe. And so we're going to really be looking at the importance of feeling a sense of safety when embarking on a transformational journey, a transformational experience like you can have here at Rythmia or at any kind of, retreat or program. Look what to look for and how do you empower yourself to get it, right? So let's dive right in. This You know, this is such an important topic because transformational journeys really necessitate uh, going into deep recesses of your thoughts and emotions, that, you know, we're really stripping away all of our armor, all of our you know, all of our baggage, and we're exposing the deep inner being. And it's a very vulnerable place. It's a very you know, it's a place that, you know, as vulnerability is, you know, it's like you're poking the soft underbelly. And so, you know, to be able to do that, if we don't feel safe, it's like we naturally close up. I always use the analogy of a sea anemone. You know, these sea creatures that have all these little fronds, I guess, and then you poke it in the middle, it like closes up like this. So this is really, you know, this is an example of not feeling safe. The anemone feels some kind of foreign disturbance and it closes down. It protects itself. And this is what we do when we don't feel safe. And when we're talking about transformational programs and transformational experiences, they really only work if you really allow yourself to open up and get to the junk, get to the garbage that we're trying to work with. And you know, often those experiences are scary or unpleasant. So feeling safe allows you to go to those scary places, to those unpleasant places as they surface, allowing yourself to stay with it rather than trying to avoid it or trying to hold back because you're afraid that that might get manipulated or that might get taken advantage of or otherwise. So it is Luke Sellers, hello, my favorite Kriya yogi out there in the world right now, also from Toronto, and a good friend, and comes here regularly. So if you ever want to come to Rythmia on a day when a really good guest speaker's here, find out when Luke Sellers is here again. So what is safety? Where, you know, I break it down into physical safety, emotional safety, and spiritual safety. And looking really old, brother. Just kidding. All right. He's also a practical jokester, that Luke Sellers. So physical safety. When we're talking about physical safety, you want to consider the environment, right? Is the environment safe? Is there, you know, things in the environment that could potentially harm you or potentially get in the way of your experience? Health concerns, you know, you know, when you're going through a transformational program, could it affect your health? And are the proper resources in place if there should be a health challenge or you know, some kind of emergency that arises? Is the place or the environment equipped to handle that? So Kathy Klein, hey Kathy, good to see you on here, and I imagine your smiling face is on the other side of the internet. So the environment, the health concerns, and people, of course, you know, can you trust the people? Are they you know, are they shady, or are they open and loving? When that segues into then emotional safety. You know, when we're talking about emotional safety, I feel like we're really talking about, can you feel comfortable that your emotions can be handled, that as your emotions come up, that there is space held for them, and that you're not being told that you're wrong or that you're bad, or that or all of a sudden it's too intense and who's ever on the other side can't handle them and runs or makes you feel like you know, you're too out of control. You know, part of emotional safety is really a big one, feeling that your openness and your suggestibility. As you get, as you get into these experiences, really, it requires a whole new level of openness. And often as you open and you awaken, there's a whole level of suggestibility, because you really see a whole new world before you. And you want to be sure that that openness and that suggestibility isn't taken advantage of, that somebody is there guiding you down the proper channels rather than guiding you down a channel that serves their own self-interests. And thank you, Luke. So that's emotional safety. And then, of course, spiritual safety. You want to feel that wherever you are, that there's no dark forces at work, that there, no entities coming in to, to interrupt your process, and so on. So this, you want to feel like where you are and who you're dealing with is aligned with the light and not with the darkness, right? So how do we basically address these? And actually, before we get into that, I would like to say too, as try a little bit more of an interactive approach. What does safety mean to you when we talk about feeling safe enough to go through the program? And many of you on here today have gone through the program. So if you can maybe say a few things about either what made you feel safe or what you need, what you need to feel safe, and how it was actually provided for you here at Rythmia. And this is where I'm going next. Is these are the kind of things you want to look for no matter where you go. But of course, here today we're representing Rythmia and the extremely life-changing program here. One that's taken the unorthodox approach of utilizing powerful agents of breath work and plant medicine, and these things really open you up to those vulnerable places, and so it's really important. Other places are copying this model, so you're starting to have a choice, and you want to be really clear when you're making that choice on is your safety really being handled. First of all, Gord Barrett, what's up, Christian? Hey, happy Friday. I totally have a topic for you. Give me a message. Yes, give it to me, and I'm happy to always receive topics. Nikki, the medical staff on site was a big one for myself and Allison. Beautiful. So Nikki is responding to my request that you tell me what kind of things you need when we're talking about safety. What makes you feel safe if you're coming to some kind of program, some place you don't know? How do you decide that it's going to be safe enough for you? So if you can answer that question in any way, shape, or form, and of course, if you have any questions about anything that I'm saying, please type it in. So this is an interactive approach. So the first, the first thing I want to go over is make sure you're dealing with professionals, right? That you do your due diligence, which means to research where you're going, and is it led by professionals? Who is at the helm? Who are leading the different segments, and are they qualified to do so? For instance, I'm on the breathwork team. I've been a breath worker for 12 years, training, at this point, numbering in the thousands of people in this process of transformational breath. And in those 12 years, have not had an incident where, an incident to tarnish my name and reputation, because, I take this stuff seriously. And, we all sometimes make little mistakes here and there, but in the greater capacity, I've held that safe container and have a record to show. The shaman here, the shaman, are all basically students of our grand shaman, the Taita Juanito, and he comes from a lineage of shamans from the Colombian tradition. So he knows what it means to be a shaman deep down at his core. And it's not just, hey, flailing a few feathers and chanting a few words that nobody understands. But it's like having an understanding of what those words actually are doing energetically, and learning how to move energy and learning how to hold that space and get in the proper mindset and the proper heart space to be able to guide all of the crazy energies that can come up in the course of a ceremony. Aisha's joined, welcome, and she's here recently. And Nikki says shamans that have experience and work together with the helpers as well. That's another thing for trust. Gord, being sure I was fully trusting in the medicine made me feel safe at Rythmia too. You're in good hands with the medicine. And I will make up that point too in a little bit. Leaf from Copenhagen, hello. Gord, talking to Nikki, shamans were extremely helpful. Seems every time I was having trouble, someone was right there to help, and that was paramount. And that's important. So yeah, having enough people, enough staff to really handle the crowds. At Rythmia, we have large ceremonies, and we found that actually, contrary to a lot of people's intuition or thoughts, the larger the ceremony, the higher our miracle rate has gone. So we hold these large ceremonies, but we hold that container because we have enough helpers to support the whole thing. So there's a shaman and a couple, assistant shamans, for lack of a better term, but then there's a whole host of shaman help, so that, as Gord was saying, when somebody's going through some process, there's somebody right there to help. And you don't necessarily always get that if you're going out into the jungle and you've got one shaman and maybe his assistant or her assistant. Michelle, the fact that Rythmia is medically supervised was the key reason I chose it. Knowing this and checking out all the staff and shamans was the key reason I felt safe, and I'm sure glad I decided. 5 years after peek-in, I finally found this place. Beautiful, Michelle. Thanks for that. The fact that Rythmia, okay, you said that. And Robbie, hi for the first time. Great. Jamal, second time I'm watching you. Thank you for sharing this knowledge. Beautiful. And Urska, yep, welcome. All right, so, make sure that professionals are in place. So we have breathwork professionals, we have shamanic professionals, we have medical professionals, we have psychological professionals. All these professionals work and reside here at Rythmia. So you're in good hands there. The other thing, again, do your due diligence. Peer feedback is sort of the name of the game in this new age, where something happens and it's all over the internet in minutes. That's a two-edged sword too, so we have to be careful, and we'll talk about our own responsibilities there in a moment. Gord saying, before coming, I heard there was a lack of shamans. This is absolutely not true. For those hearing the same types of rumors, great, and great for clarifying that. And that's just it. I don't know any place in the world that has as much support staff as Rythmia has. And you know, that's essential. I knew some friends who went to a place in the west coast of the United States to do a weekend of shamanic journeying. And I checked in with him. That friend reported that it was just the shaman and the shaman's assistant, who was very green, very new, learning. And they told me that the shaman flipped out during the ceremony, that he actually, you know, was deep in the medicine and completely out of commission for helping anybody else. So that can happen from time to time. And if you don't have any other support staff, then, you know, it's like the ship lost its rudder and now you're drifting into the open seas. So here, if one of the helpers goes down, we still got a whole band of other helpers to assist in the process. So thanks for clarifying that, Gord. I need my glasses here. Dave, emotional safety is a concern for me. It's too easy to do deep damage to the psyche, damage that someone opportunistic can cause. Right on. Rythmia certainly projects the safe and genuine environment, a projection that has several other similar businesses fail to do. Great on. Gord, what up, Luke? Randy, for me, I felt safe through a friend who had gone to Rythmia before. Good, so that's what I mean by do your due diligence. Check in with people, with friends who've done it before, with, you know, go to TripAdvisor. Check out what people are saying. Rythmia has not only got a stellar record on TripAdvisor, but we actually are, you know, we check with TripAdvisor too. With all of our positive reviews, we are the #1 hotel essentially in the world. #1 rated hotel, the highest level of 5-star reviews of any, you know, in comparison to lower reviews. So this is, you know, this is a big deal. If people don't like their experience, they're more than happy to say so. So to have, and, you know, if people like their experience, you know, they say no news is good news, because generally if people like it, they don't say anything. But if people don't like it, they definitely want to tell you all about it. So the fact that Rythmia has all of these very positive reviews on TripAdvisor says a lot. And it's coming from people who've had the experience and are authentically expressing themselves. They're not, you know, they're not manipulated or paid or, you know, what have you, in order to provide these reviews. They're reviewing it because they've had a life-changing experience that is unlike any they've ever had before, and that's inspired them to live in a whole new direction. And part of that is to help others get to this place and have a similar kind of experience. So Randy was saying, feel safe from a friend, and then just to speak with guests who were leaving as we were arriving, very comforting. Then the facilitators telling us exactly what to expect, and integration meetings with Jerry, all awesome. Thanks, Randy. Bill, I felt amazing peace and safety from climbing into the shuttle to getting through the gate. I never once felt unsafe there at Rythmia. I did research for 3 years before I decided to go to plant medicine. That being said, I only knew about Rythmia for 2 days until I booked my trip there. Jerry's class made me feel safe and secure because he states right then no staff will make any advances towards any guest. Attention to detail is amazing at Rythmia. Yeah, and some of those points I'm here to make as well. So thank you, Bill. Kevin, the weekly videos from yourself, Candice, Jerry, etc., explaining the process helped. Plus having interviews with the current guests helped put my mind at ease. So that's a good thing too, you know, getting to know the people. And Rythmia has been very good at putting us in front of you. I do a video, John Jacob does a video on Thursday. I do a video on Friday. Now we'll have Stacy doing I Got My Miracle on Saturday. Sunday, Meg does her cooking video. Monday, Jerry does a video. or Dr. Jeff. Tuesday, Jerry does a video. So every day of the week, you've got one of us. You get to see us, you get to know us, you get to ask us questions. You basically get comfortable with who we are as people and who we are as an entity before you even come here. So that's a great point there, Kevin. Thanks. Michelle joined. Hello, Bill. I had 10 shamans healing me. That's not lack to me. That's great. Sometimes people require full-on shaman effect, and all the shamans and helpers are selfless to a core. Thanks, Bill. We appreciate that recognition. So, do your due diligence. Find out what your peers are saying, what they're saying on Facebook. Otherwise, what your friends are saying if they've come back from this place. Now, to address the physical comfort or the physical safety, first of all, we provide a very comfortable environment. It's in Costa Rica, but it's in a habitated part. You're not going 2 days into the jungle, into the middle of nowhere where you've got no other resources around. Often places like these don't even have a bathroom. You're just going out in the woods. So, you've got the bugs, you've got the snakes and the scorpions and all that kind of stuff. That is largely removed from Rythmia. We've got a compound that's well taken care of by maintenance and landscaping, and our housekeeping and all that keeps it clean, keeps it pristine, keeps it comfortable for you. So that part doesn't play into your feeling of not feeling safe. On the physical environment, we have an ICU here, an intensive care unit. We have 24/7 doctor and nurse staff on call. We've again got dozens of people to help support when somebody's going through a little bit of a emotional catharsis, or something comes up and they need to process it. People are there ready to help. And Gord, Facebook Live feeds got me to Rythmia. Excellent. And thanks to Zinlin. So Zinlin got you to start watching these, Gord? Debbie Ballard, Shelley Albers joined. Hello. So welcome. So where am I? The doctors, nurses, dozens of helpers. On the emotional level, Rythmia is, the environment is such that is a place that you can stay open, which is really critical when you're doing this deep work, because it you usually don't do get all your clearing done in just one night, one session, right? So you open yourself up and stuff happens. And if you had to go home, you basically have to close yourself back down and return to the world, keeping that armor up so the harshness of the world doesn't penetrate into that vulnerable space you got into. But here, you get to sit and relax. You open up on the first night, and people start opening up with breath work the very first night they're here. And you can stay open. You can stay open so that each element of the process can continue to open you deeper and deeper, so we can get to that really deep stuff that may be so hidden that you even have blocked it subconsciously, which is what a lot of people experience here, is that the root cause of their suffering, of their pain throughout the years, was some kind of incident that was so traumatic or so repressed that they don't even remember it until they go through this experience and they finally get to it, bring that up and connect, and then deal with it. Lisa says, my daughter had tried to call the numbers on emails she received, but only is able to leave a voicemail, and her emails go to an info-only email. Is there an email or number that we can actually connect with somebody to speak with? I'm not sure why you are not connecting. Lisa, have you gone to the website, rythmia.com, and see let me here, I'll put a number, well, right here, this number, call this number right above there, Lisa. That is a number that will get you in touch with somebody so you can speak with them, all right? Hopefully that works for you. Let me know, message me on Facebook if it doesn't. Giovanni has joined. Giovanni is trained in the Wim Hof method. He's also a guest speaker who comes through here. He'll be coming through here again in the next couple months, I believe. Is that right, Giovanni? If you tell me the date, I'll announce it. Christopher Hughes, excited to have this experience. Beautiful. Paul, are you comfortable with more out there things like MK Ultra, trauma-based mind control, electroshock, memory wipes, etc.? I have no experience enough to understand what those are all about. So I couldn't answer intelligently for you there with that, Paul. Sorry about that. So back to how we're managing safety here and, addressing these concerns that we brought up, the physical safety concerns, the emotional safety concerns, the spiritual safety concerns, and we're on the emotional concerns right now. So, we said that this is a place where you can stay open. It's a place where, as we mentioned, we have ample amount of staff to consistently go and check in on people who are having a catharsis, a little, what I might call a healing crisis. We only call it a crisis because it's a momentary flare-up of the energy that's finally come to the surface, and we're struggling with our holding on to it versus letting it go. And through the coaching, through the help, we help people through their fears and their anxieties about it to finally let this energy go. And that's, again, why we boast such a high miracle rate, because people are able to get through their stuff because they have the support to do it. Now, one of the things, and somebody mentioned it earlier in the messages, Rythmia has a strict engagement policy, right? We don't engage the employees, the volunteers, anybody that's working representing Rythmia is very strictly forbidden to interact with the guests on any kind of personal level, meaning a little bit more intimate level, certainly in any kind of sexual level. And this is vitally important because a lot of the trauma that comes through this place, a lot of the trauma that's out here in the world is sexual trauma. People who have had very sad or severe experiences that were sexual in nature. And to really feel safe there's got to be a sense that the people who are helping you aren't making sexual advances and stuff like that. So this is a high level rule that's in place here at Rythmia. And in fact, we're all human. There are attractions that happen, and guests will get attracted to the staff. The staff will get attracted to guests. But on that note, so nothing happens to that regard during the week at Rythmia. And then if there's really some kind of spark there's still a 3-month rule, meaning that any kind of engagement, any kind of follow-up that may lead to a relationship between a guest and a staff member has to wait at least 3 months to before that can start to manifest. And usually by that time, what happens really, and why this is so important, is that when you're having this experience, when you have this catharsis, when you're very open and vulnerable, and you've cleared all your darkness, and now you're very impressionable, and there's a phenomena sort of like imprinting, like little chicks get born and the first thing they see, they follow around as their mother, right? When you have this healing experience, often the people that are helping you become very endearing to you, meaning that you start to see them as very attractive, as very beautiful, as, you know, your personal angels. And there's this heart connection, and that's where you got to be very careful. Somebody with a more diabolical agenda can take advantage of that, and you can go along for that ride because you're like, wow, you just opened me up, and so I trust you completely, and let me just follow you down this path. And that, you know, if they don't have the proper motives in mind, then that can be lead to devastating results. So it's important to know that you know, that's not going to happen here at Rythmia. Bill, can clearly say what you mean, please. Oh, replying to Paul. All right, so I'll let you guys converse there. What else do we got here? We're always striving to get better here too. So that's an important thing to understand, that, you know, we're humans on a continuous journey, and I know myself and others are you know, sometimes get you know, different guests perceive different things going on, and may report things, and that's a good thing, because we're always correcting course. You know, we're always trying to strive to give you the best experience possible, and so we strive to, or we invite feedback. You know, we invite healthy feedback to help us, you know, provide the experience that's going to make you feel even safer. And that's why I'm asking you too, if you haven't written yet, if there's anything that makes you feel especially safe, that made you feel safe because you're here at Rythmia, or something that would make you safe, make you feel safe, I want to hear about it. Regine joined. She's right here right now. So welcome, Gail, too. Bill, the girls I had conversations with expressed to me how safe they felt, not only from Rythmia, but from us guys, too. I felt a sense of brotherhood with all my new family there. Thanks, Bill. And that's, you know, it's really the vibe we try to create. You know, everybody comes together, they go through this intense experience, they really bond at a deep level. And that bond comes because all our facades are down. So when you're meeting people, you're meeting them soul to soul. You know, you don't have to go through layers of armor and withholdings to get to the real person. When you're here, you're meeting soul to soul. And so people have made some of the best friends that they'll ever have as a result of coming here. Let's move on then to the spiritual safety. One thing I do want to mention, that this plant medicine inherently is an agent of the light. All right, so the plant medicine, there's nothing evil, there's nothing dark, there's nothing diabolical about the medicine itself. The medicine is pure essence of plant, pure essence of nature, in harmony with the flow of nature, and nature is us. We are part of nature. So, so you can rest assured that, you know, the medicine itself is not something that's meant to draw you into darkness. Now, as you're going through a medicine journey, you may have a darker experience, and it's important to distinguish that this isn't medicine bringing darkness onto you, but this is darkness coming from within you and being released. We often say here, what's coming is going, all right? What's coming is going, meaning what you're experiencing is on its way out. So when you experience darkness, when you experience discomfort, when you experience your fears and anxieties coming up, it's because they're coming up to be cleared. The medicine is helping you move those things along. And let's see. Do you have any experience background on this solar shift we experienced these couple of days? A lot of old emotions that have been putting deep down are coming to the surface. I couldn't speak intelligently to that, Jamal, but only to say that environmental forces, astrological forces are always at work influencing our emotions and our capacities to feel and think. And again, in a benevolent universe, which I firmly believe in, all of that is coming to surface for our own evolution and our own development. So you ideally should never be afraid of anything that's coming up based on solar shifts and astrological phenomena. Gore, get to know your fellow retreat mates while you're at Rythmia. By the third day of my trip, I stopped locking the doors to my room because I became practically family with all the guests there. I trusted every last one of them. Great, Gord, thanks. Lisa Neal, I have always felt very safe at Rythmia, which is why I chose to attend the second week. Everyone was acting out of service and sharing their gifts to assist my personal growth. Thank you all with Rythmia team for your mindfulness and care. Appreciate that, Lisa. Desi, how many guests can you have at any given time in a 7-day period? Our capacity is about 84 guests. That's the max that we can have, Desi. Regine, all aspects of staff, whether it be from the resort, workshop, or volunteers, safety illuminates from everyone here, heavenly. Thanks, Regine. And she's here right now, so she's telling us firsthand. So back to spiritual safety. Another thing that we have going for us here is, again, Taita Juanito is sort of our, I call him our rock star shaman because he's, he draws a crowd, but he came authentically from a shamanic tradition. His father was a shaman. His grandfather was the oldest living shaman, still drinking and serving medicine. He started drinking as a youth and, went through years of drinking before he actually even had an experience. And then he had this amazingly huge experience that lasted 3 days. They had to tie him to a tree and all that. And that started him on the journey to become a Taita himself. A Taita meaning a teacher or the administrator of the wisdom of the plant. So we get the blessings of the Taita every time he comes here. And he's indicated to us that so much cleansing work has happened that we've actually opened up a portal to the higher dimensions here. So that Rythmia is a place, and this is in alignment with in my beliefs in spiritual philosophy. My spiritual teacher, Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, would say that, places get impregnated with the energy of the activities that are happening there. So he advised you to find a corner to meditate and use that place only to meditate, because the vibe that you build from meditation will build in that place and it'll be easier to meditate there. So Rythmia is an amazing place, partly because the staff and all the work that's gone into making it amazing, but it's extra amazing because of all of you. All the people who come here do the heavy duty work, and by and large, in the 5,000 people that have gone through our doors so far, I could count on one hand the number of people who came here as a joyride or weren't really serious about their journey. It's amazing the quality of people that show up here, the people who are really ready to do their work. Grandmas and grandpas, families, brothers and fathers with their daughters, mothers with their sons, and vice versa. You know, CEOs of big concerns and companies, people, celebrities, you know, people who have a lot at stake here, and those folks come here and do the hard work, and that leaves a vibration that helps the next round do this work. And I've seen it. I've been here over a year and a half now. I've seen how the vibe has shifted, and it's easier for the groups to kind of coalesce and consolidate earlier on in the program. Before, you know, in the earlier stages, it took a while often for the group to really get meshed and everything to happen properly. So now, because of the work that's done here week after week, as the title says, we've opened this portal, and we have created a space that holds the vibration of transformation. So if you really want to do the work, come to a space that's already impregnated with that kind of energy. All right, just looking here. Jamal, my heart is overwhelmed with this knowledge. All the blessings, brother. Thanks. Allison loved it there. Jenny Greer joined. Gord, the energy at Rythmia is out of this world. No pun intended. It is, and it is otherworldly. So Kim Ramus, hey there, Kim. Rythmia is a gift to the planet. Thanks. So, you know, it is a high vibrational place. So there's, you know, there's a lot that the environment really holds. Again, physically, emotionally, spiritually, Rythmia takes care of all these bases. And I want to say now, when you are, when you come here, when you go anywhere, there's a responsibility you have as well. And you know, the safety is helped if you are feeling unsafe, or you feel like something's not going according to the way you feel like it should, then it's your responsibility to report it, to not in a, I'd say you don't have to be in a negative Nelly type of mode and say like there's bad things going on, but just say, hey, I'm concerned about this or that, and you know, address it to the proper people while you're here so it can get corrected, and you don't have to hold on to that energy and then have to express it later on to, you know, your peer group or whatever, and where it's not really going to help at that point, right? At that point, you're just bringing up things that can undermine the quality of the program here. And you know, your concerns are real, your experience is real, and so we want those to be addressed here. You know, here while you're here, so you don't have to go away feeling like, you know, everything was great except that one little piece here. And like I said, we're all, you know, you want to understand that we're all humans here. Those who are helping you are doing our best to uphold the, you know, the high vibrational rules and guidelines of Rythmia, and at the same time we're human, right? So we're not always, you know, I often joke that the people who need this program the most are the people who stay around, which means the employees. Basically, all of us here go through this program week after week, and so we're really in the intensive school of healing and cleansing. You guys just have to come for a week and you're free. So we hard cases need to stay here week after week. So recognize that we're not perfect, and we are striving to do our best. And if something that we're doing seems out of alignment, first of all, you know, it's nice to give the benefit of the doubt and say, you know, maybe something's just a little off here, or, you know, maybe they're going through something. But again, take it to the proper authority so it can get addressed there, so you can, again, put that to rest and not let it affect your journey at all. So that's really, yeah, thanks for the hearts and likes on that. Let's see, Gord. There definitely is no place like Rythmia on earth. Tyler Adams, Shell joined. Kim Ramus, Rythmia is a gift. All right, so we got all that. That really brings me to the conclusion of this topic today. If you have anything more to say, if you have any questions, feel free to, again, type them in. If you got a lot out of this, you like this, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, any kind of comments, and know that we genuinely are concerned with your safety. Rythmia is a place of incredible transformation, incredible evolution. I firmly believe it has a forefront space in the evolution of this planet. And soul after soul, week after week, we're sending back into the world to spread light and to continue to amplify what happens here in this program week after week. So you all are vital to it, and we appreciate that support, and we appreciate you holding Rythmia and the staff in its highest regard, so that others can be receptive to coming here and really getting what they came for. We're dedicated to that. I'm dedicated to that. I know Jerry, our CEO, is dedicated to that. So Rythmia is a place that you ultimately can feel safe. Comment cards. What do you mean by that, Regine? Can you spell your name so I can find you on Facebook? My name is R. Christian Minson, Christian, Minson, Minson, the letter R in front, R. Christian Minson. You can find me on Facebook, friend me. I only ask if you do friend me that you include a note that you saw me on Facebook Live, or you were here at Rythmia and you want to be friends, or you can say what you liked about this live today. But if you include a note, I will friend you. If you don't, it's likely that I won't get to that friend request. So always send a note, and I'm happy to continue this conversation. If you have any individual questions, feel free to reach out. Neo Fred, what about natural laws? I'm not sure what you mean by that. In this context, Gord, namaste, brother. I will send you a message about that topic. Good, thanks, Gord. And anybody out there, if you have topics you want to be addressed, I'm happy to give insight on those based on my all my knowledge. Is basically, it has a foundation of my 10 years of living a deep spiritual life in the monastic setting. So that, coupled with now being back out in the world for 12 years and seeing how to merge that deep spiritual life path with the crazy life that goes on out here on this planet, and all the wisdom that's come from that experience. So I'm happy to address any topic from that perspective. Do you have any comment cards here for us to fill out instead of addressing our concerns personally? Well, at the end of the week, you get to fill out the report. You get to rate Rythmia, and then if there's anything you want to do, but of course that's not addressing what I was saying, address it in the moment. So that's a good point. We don't have comment cards right now. If you want to address something, you need to personally go somewhere, but I will make a note of that to bring up because that may help help further that sense of safety. Hermetic principles. Again, what are you, objective morality, the cult? Sorry, I'm really not getting what you're asking there, Neo-Fred. So I apologize for not tuning in to exactly what it is you want to know. So with that, thank you all for joining. We're doing this Facebook Live every Friday. Join all the other ones. Like I said, pretty much from Thursday to Tuesday, we've got some kind of Facebook Live happening. So join us and get yourself on down to Rythmia as you can. With that, that's R. Christian Minson signing off for this round. I hope to see you here soon. Namaste.